skaters look at the world a different way. You can never really get rid of that. Like, you watch a movie and you're like, that's a good handrail. God, I wish I could skate that. And so I think you can never really shake it if you really get into skateboarding. I mean, there's people that kind of dabble in it, but if you're like really a hardcore skater, you're never going to shake it from your existence. And I think that's what happened to me, and I just was like, well, fuck it. And now's the time. Let's just start doing it. My name is Blake Owens. I've been skating for 20 years. So Blue Collar has always been kind of in the back of my mind, like not Blue Collar specifically, but another skateboard company. First off, I started a skateboard company called Spectrum about 10 years ago. And I just didn't have the facilities and the ability to really keep that going. You know, I had plenty of good ideas, I just didn't have the ability to see them through in a lot of ways. I was kind of not skating as much as I should have been. I wasn't out there. I had some team riders and stuff, but they can only carry you so far when you have to kind of be up and promoting the whole thing. You know, it was in garages and little tiny rooms and old sheds, fire fucking hazards. Ultimately, I guess I just shut down because I just couldn't afford to keep getting skateboards. I wasn't selling enough to maintain it. Sometime around the time when my son was born, it was incredibly colicky and we weren't getting any sleep, and my dad was diagnosed with terminal cancer. I was like, shit, I should probably start a skateboard company. That would simplify my life. So there was one particular time when I was at the skate park, and you know, I'm the older guy, so one of the older guys, and I come in and walking in to go skateboard, and some kid comes up and asks me if I could buy him beer. I'm like, that's not gonna happen, bud. And some other kid's like, dude, do you know who that is? That's the owner of Blue Collar Skateboards. So far, the reception's been pretty warm. Kids like to get behind something, especially if something local, and most people like to support local companies and businesses. Bellingham has just a huge art community, and you know, they only have so many restaurants to hang their art on, and I have a bunch of artists that are into it, and they're just super supportive and want to be involved in it and see their stuff on a skateboard. And a majority of what goes on here is we do it ourselves, which I love to have that creative freedom. DIY is always one of those. It's like saying, you know, what's punk? You know, it's one of those things. But that's a really important aspect for me, not having to make a call and pay somebody to carry out my idea. I know a lot of times a skateboarder, like a pro skateboarder, will be like, I'm going to start my own company, and they'll go to somebody and be like, how do I do that? And essentially just they're almost middleman everything. They hardly even touch the product. Whereas here, I kind of did the other way around. I started with a factory. That's the great thing about a skateboard company, is you just come up with really fun things to do all the time. You just have to hype your company. So I just have books and books of ideas written down of just random shit, random designs, random contests, or just anything. There's just hundreds and hundreds of things I would have in the back of my mind that if that was my main job, I could just put all my effort into that and just kind of change the world, make it more fun.